In this week's Blizz Pro Weekly, the League of Explorers need you. Grey Hollow is a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. Jeff Kaplan gives us some tidbits about Overwatch that turn out to be kind of a tidbite. And Lunara leaps into Heroes of the Storm. Hey there, everyone. My name is Charlie, and we're filming on December 14th, 2015. The thing is, we're in the middle of the worst month to schedule everyone to get together to record, so if you don't see your favorite news piece here, don't shoot the messengers that were able to make it in. Speaking of stuff to talk about, we would love to hear from you. Send us your emails to dearclover@gmail.com. And be sure to leave us some comments below. Now let's check out some Heroes of the Storm with Greg.
Nobody's going to pay to see this.
Hey guys, Greg Gizmozord Parker here with the latest on Heroes of the Storm. Entering the Nexus this week is the newest ranged assassin, the Dryad known as Lunara. This hero will not have the capability to mount, but instead have a 20% increased movement speed, as well as feature attacks and abilities that place damage over time stacks on enemy heroes known as Nature Toxin. For her Q ability, we have Noxious Blossom, a small AoE that deals damage while applying a stack of Nature's Toxin. Her W will activate Crippling Spores, which will damage poison targets as well as slow them for a short time. And her E ability will deploy a wisp that grants vision for 45 seconds and can also be moved. For her heroic abilities, we have Thornwood Vine and Leaping Strike. Thornwood Vine hurls vines in a straight line, damaging targets while applying a stack of Nature's Toxin. This ability will have 3 charges. Leaping Strike will cause Lunara to jump high into the air, leaping over a target while tossing a spear, damaging and slowing the target. This ability will have 2 charges. Overall, this hero seems to have great mobility and utility, which may finally be the answer to heroes like Jaina and Kael'thas. This week's hero rotation will consist of Raynor, Muradin, Diablo, Azmodan, and the Butcher, and Stitches. If you reach account level 5, 7, 12, and 15, you will unlock Morales, Sergeant Hammer, Zeratul, and Brightwing, respectively. The Winter Veil is coming to the Nexus, along with 2 themed skins and a temporary mount. For skins, we have the Sugar Plum Sylvanas, which just looks amazing by the way, and Great Father Winter Stitches. Everyone will have access to a winter-themed Treasure Goblin mount that will only be available during the event, so make sure you guys check it out while it's still available. There will also be a couple of quests coming along with Winterveil. For completing 15 games, you will receive a 4-day stim pack, and for completing 50, a 10-day stim pack. Also, don't forget the Black Friday sale has been extended until the end of this year, so we all have plenty of time to get heroes and skins all at 50% off. Lastly, Blizzard has implemented a Recruit a Friend system into the game, rewarding new players Raynor for free, as well as Sylvanas after reaching account level 10. If you recruit 4 new players to the game yourself, you will receive the highly anticipated StarCraft Vulture mount upon all 4 of those accounts reaching level 10. Okay, so the community for the most part was pretty displeased with this announcement, to put it lightly, and they actually have a fairly good argument. For veteran players who have been in the game since early alpha or even later, you've most likely already recruited your friends who would be interested in the game. So that brings us to problem number 2, Smurf accounts. This is really the only answer for said veterans to receive the Vulture, which can be a very unpleasant experience for the actual new players trying to get in the game. They don't want to play season vets on their new accounts right when they hop in. So please keep this in mind and level your Smurfs in AI games if you choose to do this. Blizzard has responded to a post in the forums saying as long as you are playing your Smurfs and not botting or AFKing, then it's fine. This was for EU in the forums, but I think it's pretty safe to say that applies for NA as well, but no promises on that. That's going to wrap it up for Heroes of the Storm this week, so enjoy the new hero, skins, and Smurf grind while we hop into some Diablo news.
Stay a while and listen.
While there still hasn't been a lot of news to come out of Diablo, a new patch 2.4.0 preview has been posted featuring Grey Hollow Island, a creepy and treacherous island found miles off the West March coastline. This zone will feature new beasts along with bounties, and the story of the zone will be told by picking up journal entries, so make sure to pay attention to each entry you pick up to discover the dark, mysterious mysteries of Grey Hollow Island. Let's go ahead and head on over to the Kevin for some Overwatch news.
The world could always use more heroes.
So, okay, with the Overwatch beta down right now over the holidays, I know last week I told you guys that there probably wouldn't be that much more news coming out, etc., etc. But it turns out we may actually have some of the biggest news in Overwatch since BlizzCon itself. It's all coming from a pretty short video, about 8 minutes long, by Jeff Kaplan, the game director, who just basically took a little time to address a bunch of questions from the community, some of our concerns, etc. And the most interesting among these answers that he gave us was that much of the future content in the game, specifically any future maps or heroes, are going to be patched into the game for free, as opposed to like being, you know, a paid DLC package or something like you get in a lot of other games. Which to me is, I mean, it's good news, obviously. We get free stuff, right? A lot of hopefully really good content for nothing. So anyway, the other thing this does, of course, is that it helps prevent splitting the player base in the games. You know, you won't have the people who have bought the DLC and the people who haven't being matched up separately. We'll all get to play all the heroes and maps together, and that's incredible. I think it's just a huge investment in the game that they've made, because they're going to be churning out some quality content for free. A lot of stuff that I know myself personally and a lot of people out there would buy anyway. So, yeah, really pretty excited about that, naturally. So there were some other things in the video, too, and it's definitely worth watching. If you want to go check it out, it's out there on the YouTubes, I'm sure. But he did mention that there are going to be a couple more things added on pretty soon here, such as there's going to be a kill feed added to the screen, just telling you when people had died, what kills you got, that sort of thing. Gives you a better idea of who is still alive and who's dead in the match, which I really, having played it, felt like it needed. They're going to be updating the card voting system at the end of the game, just to give you more options to give people props for doing well. And then lastly, they're going to give you the option to permanently turn off your death cams, which is where, obviously, when you die, you get to watch a video of the person killing you, which to me, and Jeff Kaplan even says in the video, there's a lot of really good information you can get out of that, such as even some of the positioning of your enemy team, you know, where they have a teleporter set up or where the bastions are, that sort of thing. I personally wouldn't want to miss out on that sort of thing, but if you really don't like watching yourself die, and if you do it a lot, maybe, then maybe that's not for you. There will be the option to turn it off permanently. And so, I mean, really, other than that, the beta servers are still down, and personally, I'm still in mourning for them as well, but just got to keep looking forward to it back in January. But in the meantime, there's plenty of Hearthstone to do, right? So let's get into some Hearthstone.
Pull up a chair by the heart.
So, in Hearthstone, the League of Explorers adventure is finally fully released, and all the wings are available for you to play. So if you haven't cleared the final wing of the League of Explorers adventure called the Hall of Explorers yet, the League still needs you to do that and do battle with Archthief Rafam to recover the Staff of Origination. So I don't know what you guys have been doing, but you'd better get on that. That's a pressing issue that we all have to deal with. Anyway, after you clear the adventure, you not only get that Elise Starseeker card I was talking about, but you also get the Archthief Rafam himself. And he's a little interesting. He's pretty high on the mana cost tier, in my opinion, for what he ends up doing. But we'll see if he fits his way into the meta. He is a 9 mana cost, 7 attack, 8 health, with a battle cry that reads, discover a powerful artifact. Now, these 3 artifacts that you can unlock from there all cost 10 mana. It is always the same 3, so what you see is what you get. You get to choose between these 3. Personally, I like the Lantern of Power the best, I guess, because if your opponent doesn't have a way to answer Archtheme for Fam himself, you can then super buff him and maybe even do lethal, just kill face with it. But either card, in my opinion, I mean, the Thief himself can die to Big Game Hunter, and certainly anything buffed by the Lantern of Power can also really die to Big Game Hunter as well. So we'll see how important and impactful it gets, but I'm still excited about it. It's a fun card, for sure. I like the Discover mechanic in general, so can't complain. But anyway, otherwise, Winter Veil is officially underway, and with it comes a pretty rare opportunity to get any sort of discount at all on card packs out there. There's what's called the Winter Veil Bundle, and it lets you bundle up for the holidays with 50 classic cards packs for $49.99 US, and which really isn't all that bad if you intend to get like a new friend in the game, or if you yourself just want to flesh out a couple cards that you don't have with some arcane dust. Now, seriously, I'm not being paid by Blizzard or anything to sell this stuff to you, but it's a decent deal, and if I were in either of those situations and wasn't one of the 1% of Hearthstone where I've pretty much got the cards I want anyway, I'd maybe look into it. So, something to think about. But also, another thing to think about this holiday season is to keep your eyes on the Tavern Brawls the rest of this month, because the Feast of Winter Veil Tavern Brawl will award you that really cool Winter Veil Wreath card back. Now, this is not a Tavern Brawl you're going to want to miss. And lastly, the new Winter Veil emotes. Each character was also rewritten with, instead of a greeting, they say something along the lines of, Happy Feast of Winter Veil, or something like the like. So, for me personally, there's nothing quite like saying that right before dropping a lethal pyroblast on someone's face. Good times. I don't care what anyone says. Well, that about does it for this week, yet again. Be sure to send Clover some email at dearclover@blizzpro@gmail.com and leave us some comments below. Let us know what you think. Also, be sure to check out all the other BlizzPro shows live at blizzpro/twitch.tv. On Sunday, we've got Well Met, the Hearthstone podcast. Monday, Twizcast, all things Blizzard. Tuesday, Heroes of the Storm Power Hour. Wednesday, West March Workshop for Diablo. Thursday now has the Payload for Overwatch. And then also check out us Zords on our own podcast, Lords of the Storm.